Hello you guys, hope you are having an awesome day. And today I'll actually be talking about dialogues. As you can see, I've created this app known as Dialogs, so you can just edit it. Yeah, and inside the app I've added simple text, like for example the light theme, uh the buttons, the button, when you press this button it will bring up an alert, this one bring up a dialogue, this one is dialogue, and so on and so forth. You get the point. There are about 8 buttons and their functionalities which are currently empty, so it looks nothing but like this. So in this case just looks like this. The buttons do nothing because I haven't implemented anything within the button. So let's get started. We'll first start with the alert dialog, and just like the name itself, it's an alert. There are easy ways in which to make it, but I prefer using this way, like app dot. You can actually use the default one, alert, then which is provided by Java, then hello, oh sorry, hello, and it will actually still do the same, like it will bring up the same dialog. But instead of using this alert, we can use a different one which is provided by DroidScript. Okay, let me just leave this, let me just comment it out so that you can have a reference to it later in case. Okay, just don't mind the above message. Okay. So you can use this one, app dot alert, and then you can put, okay, the title should, the message should be hello, and then this one actually provides a title. So a title can be anything, like let's say title, like couldn't find a better title. So the moment you reload it and we run it actually, and then we press there is our title. Like the difference between this one and the alert that is provided by JavaScript is that this one actually has a title. This alert actually has a title, and this is where you put the title, and this is where you put the message. The next one is actually a dialog. This one, let me just paste it. I copied it and pasted it because it's going to take a bit long explaining. So here's what you do: you create a dialog using the CreateDialog, then you give it a title. After you give it a title, what you can do, right, is that you create a normal layout, and here I'm actually using var. The var keyword actually suspends a certain control to a specific function, so this one cannot be accessed anywhere apart from within this var layer cannot be accessed anywhere but just within the function. So yeah, it's locally scoped. I'm sure I've been talking about scoping lately. So yeah, this, you just create a normal layout, just a normal layout, nothing special, and you can give it a positioning such, and give it a normal size. Like, okay, instead of putting position you can also put size. Like size, you just have to remove these 2 parameters. What I mean is something like this. Okay, let me just write it, and then lay dot set size, and then set size you put like 0.8 and then 0.5. They'll still do the same, but for this one I also specify the position. So in this case it actually doesn't matter. But yeah, like after you create the normal layout, right, you add whatever you want to the layout. Make sure you specify the size, because the size really matters. If you don't specify the size, it will actually take up the width of the container, the width and height. In other words, it will just wrap the content within the container, and it will make the dialog kind of small. So yeah, you do this, you add the button, then after that you add, instead of actually adding the dialog to the app or something like that, no, you actually add this layout to the dialog using the add layout. This now acts as though it's an app. You remember this syntax? Dot add layout. You remember this syntax, right? But in this case, instead of using the app, we actually add the layout to the dialog, and then last but not least, you show the dialog. And then the moment you run this, okay, let's just run it. Voila, there's our button dialog. You can press anywhere to exit anywhere. But you can specify in the parameters if you don't want it to cancel every time. Like for example, let's say it's a user form and you don't want the person to like see the content without signing in, or you can press an option here known as no cancel. Yeah, so no cancel. But for me to crash because I haven't implemented any function. But yeah, this is the function no cancel. I'm sure I won't press this one again, no cancel. So it will cause it not to close until something is done until you do something or you dismiss it using another function. Then the other thing that you have, you guys, it's a yes and no dialogue. What yes and no dialogue, right? It's like whereby I ask a question like okay, let me just make it more practical. You can give it a variable, like couldn't find a better name, so just this same variable, or yes and no, so that you guys can actually follow. Okay, yes and no, vacuum word, and then yes and no, and add dot yes no dialogue. And you can give it a message, like for example, let's say I am a yes and no. Let me also write dialogue. Okay, so we're done with yes and no dialogue. And the last thing that we can do, guys, it's this. Like we can actually show it, because it won't work without us showing it. So you can put yes no dot show for us to show it. And then let's try it. Yes and no dialogue. Voila, it works. You click on us. You can actually set on click on set on touch. However, if you want this one, like this, okay, returns a result, and that result it's either a yes or a no. So you can use a certain click, you having a parameter of the same results, and then depending on the results comes out an output. So yeah, that's that about the yes and no. And the list, okay, let me just make a short list. I'll call it lst, and then okay, let me just make this list. Okay, I have made the list. So now we can now add the list. Okay, so now we can now name the list, like the variable of the list, listing, couldn't find a better name. So yeah, app dot list dialog, create list dialog actually. And then you can give it a title, like a title. Let's just give it the same title as others, title, and the list name, which was lst, st. And now we can just show this dialog list, oh yeah, listing dot show. Okay, so let's now run it, and 3 2 1, then boom, there's a list dialog. Yeah, so nothing special, just a list dialog. And you can actually click on the list items, and you can also set an on click for these events, whereby if somebody clicks somewhere, something will happen. So yeah, and then now a text dialog, I think that's the simplest. You can just write, it's so simple, you guys. Like you don't even have to like run hours, it's like show it or something like that. You just have to leave it like that. So it's just like create text dialog, create, okay, yeah, show text dialog, actually that's it. And then you give it a title. A title can be anything, like let's just create title. Seriously, couldn't find a better name. And for the default, you can just put an empty string, like yeah, that's all. Like, and then just run it. Okay, this is like whereby it requires just one kind of input, and then that same input, like for example, let's just give it a simple normal input that people understand. Let's do like this. Instead of giving it a title, let's give it a different one. Username, everybody knows this. And let's now run it using the text dialog. As you can see, username, and you can put whatever, and then depending on your answer, it actually has to return a callback, but we haven't specified any callback, so it's cool. Like you can just learn more about the text dialog using the documentation, reference, and the dialogues itself. That's why you can find all these kind of dialogues. So so now the pop-up, another simple tool which I've been using in most of my videos. Show pop-up, and in the show pop-up, just give it a message, like message, can be any message in quotes. So let's just run it. In the moment you run it, show pop-up, voila, there, message. And then in case you want to specify it at the bottom, you can just put the parameter bottom as its option. There, it's at the bottom. So yeah, and then the progress bar, it's another interesting feature, guys. You can just call the progress bar using this format, app.show progress. Okay, the first one is a progress, show progress, and then the progress, you can just put a message, like for example, loading. I think it will make more sense when you put it like this. Okay. let's just run it, and then we check out what happens in the progress there, loading. See, it actually makes more sense now. And then now let's create a progress bar, which is different from a progress. Show progress bar, show progress bar. And in the progress bar we can just put the title, maybe also loading. Let's also call it loading 1 2 3, and just that alone. But here's the thing about progress bar. You need to constantly update it using this, let's say, app dot. Okay, let's put this in a variable pri, and then pr. Actually, it's still up. My mistake. Yeah. So you need to constantly update it. Yeah, using the update progress bar, and then you can set a percentage just there, maybe 60% or something like that. Very prefer. The moment you click on there, see, it's actually updated 60%. But if you just want it to run on its own, what you can do is, let's close this. After we close it, then let's just leave it just like that, plain. But you can check out more on the progress bar by reading the documentation. Alright, so let's just run it, and then you see to continue moving, like just continue moving, nothing will happen. Just continue moving, 0, and it's not gonna change. So that's a thing about progress bar. So guys, here's the thing that I just love for you to notice. Like for example, progress bar, progress, pop-up, text, they all don't have a show access, a show like which allows them to be shown. You just have to implement them, then voila, it happens. But unlike a list and yes no dialogue plus the actual dialogue, these things actually require a show and a show for them to be shown. But it's not like one thing that you can know just from the word go. But what you can do, right, is that if you're not sure about something, first let it try to run it without using the show, and if it doesn't do anything, right, then use the show. That's all. Like that's what I mostly do when I'm lost. Okay, and then the last thing, yeah, also the alert. You can use two ways to create an alert, either this way or this way. And also, and you guys please, all yeah, I guess that's everything. But don't forget to subscribe, like, and share the video. Like, and also comment. Like, I'm really curious, you guys. I want to check out, like, if you guys like, okay, try me, give me a project, and I try to make it. And yeah, like, so yeah, so you see how you can easily make any application using DroidScript. So thank you, guys.